And hello, everyone, and welcome to our listeners and our viewers. This is another episode of Radio Entrepreneurs. I am Phil Sharkey. I'm your host today, and I have the great honor and privilege to speak with our latest guest here, Christine Coen, who is the founder and owner of Buttercup Box Gifts. Christine, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Outstanding. I did, as we mentioned off air, I did read your bio and your history, and it's a very sort of heartwarming story that you have regarding your business. And I found it very interesting and applicable to what I see in the world and need. So tell me about this Buttercup Box Gifts. First of all, for our viewers, what is it? When they hear that name, what do you do and what services do you provide?
So we do custom and curated gift boxes. We ship all over the US. A lot of our gifts are support-based gifts, so a lot of them go to people that are going through hard things. So say maybe someone's just had a loss, maybe someone's going through chemotherapy. A lot of happy occasions too, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, all the things.
Sure, sure. So tell me, Christine, as far as your process, how did you come up with the business? How did this come to you? I know, everybody knows about these types of services, but tell me how you came to the thought process to start your company.
Yeah, so I actually come from a commercial real estate background, and I've been in working in downtown Boston for 18 years. And
Okay.
when COVID hit, as you know, the world sort of turned upside down, and our buildings were essentially shut down. So
Yeah.
it was really the first time that I wasn't commuting into the city, and I was home, and I really wanted to sort of find a way to be able to reach friends, family, tenants that I couldn't see in person. And I thought, okay, what can I send them to let them know I'm thinking about them? We're going to get through this. And I started kind of pulling together some self-care items, some motivational cards.
Hmm.
I wasn't seeing anything online that I loved, so I was sort
Right.
of creating my own little pick-me-up boxes. And I quickly realized like this is actually people are so happy to receive these, but
Yeah.
also this is making me feel really good. So it was this whole sort of awakening of this creative side that I was able to find in myself that I didn't even know I was missing. And I was able to kind of um, take all of this creativity and put it to good use and send some love out to people that really needed it. A lot of my friends were really struggling with homeschooling and just being isolated in general. I being the introvert was kind of happy to be home and
Yeah. Yeah.
happy to be in my pajamas, but not everybody felt that way. So it was sort of a way that I could say, now you need a little bit of love. Here you go. And so it's sort of interesting how, so many good things did come out of COVID. So it started out, not intentionally going to be a business, sort of a hobby.
Right.
And then people loved it and they said, hey, could you send my friend a birthday box, or my friend's going through chemotherapy? What would you suggest I send? And so it grew from there. And I officially started, I think the business sort of became official about 3 years ago, and we've
Okay.
just grown and grown and grown. And now we're working with a lot more small businesses that are saying, hey, I have a new client. I want to welcome them on board. I really want to thank my referral partners.
Right.
So we're kind of coming up with boxes that are designed for them on their budget based on ideal products for their client. We're branding the boxes for them.
Right.
So the business has grown in many different directions, but essentially started out as that support-based self-care. And I think that part of the business will always be like where my heart is, just because that's,
Yeah.
where it started.
Well, I think about how you described it, and that time it was almost like the isolation, the dying of cities. Like Boston. I think about the little coffee shop that'd be next to the big, a
Yeah.
financial district where there was just no activity. Or my daughter was a musical theater major. We'd go to New York City, and it was like, it was so different. It was such an isolating time, and I could
Yep.
see how your product would, come to fruition. So tell me now, as far as word of mouth started to spread, how has it changed for you? You went from probably producing yourself. Is it getting to the point that you have additional staff, or how do you do your production?
Yeah, I still do the majority of it myself, but I
Sure.
do ask, I'm doing better about asking for help, especially during the busy season, which of course is the holiday season. It's December is just crazy.
Yeah. You're almost like
But
an accountant regarding you go into your seasons and you're
yeah, your
probably
tax
just
season, right? Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's great. Actually, speaking of, we work with a lot of accountants. It's funny. That's actually one of our like biggest sort of small businesses is accountants
Sure.
who send things to their clients. But yeah, it's holidays are crazy. I always say I actually think people are better off. Like little gift tip, I think people are better off sending gifts different parts of the year because I think the holiday is just oversaturated and people don't really
That's
have
a yeah,
time to sort
it's
of
a great point. You
enjoy.
sort of yeah, you don't have as much of an impressive bang to your buck, I think, because
Yep.
everybody's like, oh, that's nice. I'll put on the pile with a bunch of other stuff I received. But off season might be a real time to make an impression. And I also think, Christine, regarding my business and networking is so key, as you mentioned. And I think we've seen since COVID, sort of an awakening of the small businesses out there. So is that sort of your niche? Do you have a certain, you mentioned accounting companies, is there a certain niche business that seems to do well for you? Obviously, your services could pertain to any company, but is there some
Yeah.
that pertain mostly to you?
The majority of them are local, Boston, Massachusetts based. I think just because of word of mouth, they've just
Yeah.
heard. I think a lot of them have maybe received one of my boxes from someone else and then said, "Hey, I should probably send these out to my clients." So it's really a lot of word of mouth, not a lot of. I don't do a lot of marketing. And yeah, I think there's a lot of coaches. There's a lot of. I have actually one of my biggest clients is a dentist.
Okay.
They send a referral box to every single person that comes to their practice
My
and
devious
refers.
mind makes me think they're sending out very much sweets so they can encourage more
I know we try to
work.
stay
But
away from the sweets. We try to do
yeah,
other things that are
yeah,
like useful items,
yeah.
but yeah, dentists, we have estate planners, we have elevator consultants, we have security companies who actually probably could use your help with their background checks.
Sure, sure.
But cleaning companies, like it really varies. But yeah, mostly Massachusetts based, although we do ship everywhere. I just signed a new client on that's in Pennsylvania, another dentist. So it's
So
easy to,
logistically, you can handle other regions
oh
if
yeah,
need be, not limited to just the Boston proper areas. You could handle, as you mentioned, a company in Pennsylvania. I assume a company in Texas if
yep.
necessary.
Yep. And it's always exciting when we get an order that is, through the website and it's going to like California or, Washington State, just somewhere that we've never shipped to before. It's
Yeah,
kind of like fun. You're like, oh, you wonder like, how'd they hear about me? Or how
yeah. It's like a
did they
new
get a box?
territory, not conquered,
Yeah.
reached out to. It sounds like a very rewarding, situation for you. It sounds like I know a lot of us get into our mundane lives, and a lot of entrepreneurs that I've met, when they find their thing, it really is a rewarding experience. And it sounds like you enjoy what you do. Tell me if you could. I'm very interested in the name Buttercup, and I know there's a nice story regarding that. How did you come to the Buttercup box gifts?
Yeah. My mom started calling me Buttercup when I was a teenager. So it's funny, it just kind of stuck with me. And like even at my wedding, she made a little speech about was calling me Buttercup and in her toast. But she, was really a big inspiration for the business because she is someone that is very old school where she sends cards in the mail. Still, she has like a stack
Sure.
of cards by her door that are always ready to go to the mailbox. So she's the person that you might not see her for 3 years, but you get a card for like every single holiday, every birthday. She just always remembers. And people don't really send things in the mail anymore. Like, what do you get in the mail that's fun
Yeah.
besides a card from my mom or a buttercup box? Like, there's just not many things.
It's
So,
so true. I know myself, mail time is a depressing time because it's usually a negative or a bill situation. It's not very rewarding experience. And it sounds like this would really lighten someone's day and really improve
yeah.
the experience.
Yeah, and we include a handwritten message from the person that's sending the box. So I think that really adds like a special touch to it. When
Yeah.
you're adding something that's more personalized and not just a standard to and from, it really makes a big difference. Our packaging is the whole experience is luxury. It's not just a brown box. It's the branded Buttercup box with the special packaging and the products are luxury. So it's definitely a different experience than you're going to get from a typical online.
Right.
box company.
Right. The branding. And what can it range from, just Christine, from is it sort of a food, sweet treats, to swag, to what could possibly a
Yeah,
customer
really, there's
acquire?
a lot of options. Some of my clients want to do all gourmet sweets in there and they want to put their logo on the box and they do a custom note card in the box that has their logo on it. Some of them don't want any branded items. I just did some little plants with someone's logo on them. We do all the things like tumblers and notebooks and all those things, but we also really try to think like outside of the box. Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's if we're going into summer, what is something that your clients really could use this summer? Like, let's do a wireless speaker with your logo on it that they're going to take to the beach.
Yeah.
We don't just need another coffee mug. Like, we need
Right.
things that they're really going to be excited about.
Yeah.
So we have those conversations and we kind of figure out per
So there's a lot of back
season.
and forth, if you would, Christine. You sort of,
Yeah,
the creative juices get flowing between you and the client, I would assume.
absolutely. Yeah, and they have ideas, I have ideas, and then we put them together and make it work based on what their budget is. Yep.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, I want to remind everyone we've been speaking with Christine Coen, the founder and owner of Buttercup Box Gifts. It's been a real pleasure, Christine. So if our listeners were looking to get in touch with you, how would they do so? How would they reach out to you?
Yep. The website is Buttercup Boxes of Love or buttercupboxgifts.com. Instagram is, I'm there all the time, and that's a big one. We do a lot of
Yeah.
giveaways and fun stuff on there. That's also Buttercup Boxes of Love.
Yeah, so social media definitely a good way to reach out to you through
Yep.
that means. Outstanding. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show today. We appreciate you joining me for this interview. We'll hope you return sometime in the future and give us an update how things are going for you. So thank you to our listeners and our viewers. Please remember to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube if you could. And we'll be back with more stories on Radio Entrepreneurs.